Probably I need to control from here.
No, just press the arrow.
The agenda for today's presentation is scheduled in such a sequence: motivation, research objectives, theoretical perspectives, research design, findings, conclusion, recommendation, and practical implications of this research. NCEA stands for National Certificate of Education Achievement, and it was introduced as a primary qualification system for New Zealand secondary schools. It was developed to enable more school leavers with qualifications by introducing more internal assessment standards to measure a wider range of competencies and skills. Since the introduction, it was criticized for inconsistent internal assessment standards and for encouraging mediocrity. The government has taken some steps to address these issues. There had been a number of studies examining the impact of NCEA on school performance by looking at school academic outcomes, while limited research examines school performance by looking at efficiency of resource utilization and effectiveness of achieving organizational objectives. This created a strong motivation for this research. In addition, because New Zealand's education system is an exemplar of public sector, and the government has invested a large amount to improve school quality. That's why whether NCEA has positive impact on school performance is of particular importance in the eyes of the government and the public. Objectives include to develop a performance measurement system for New Zealand public secondary school, and another one to examine school productivity change since the introduction of NCEA in 2004. What I mean by productivity is the ability of transferring inputs into outputs. And opinion theories include new public management theory and stakeholder theory and Humanism's framework. NPM advocates that public sector can improve its performance by exercising private sector management techniques to improve efficiency and effectiveness. Stakeholder theory emphasizes that organizational objectives should reflect expectations of primary stakeholders in organization. In New Zealand, the Ministry of Education is a primary stakeholder, and therefore school performance measures should be linked to the ministry's objective, stressing equality and excellence in education. Humanism's framework was adopted to develop the model. It decomposes benefit and cost into inputs, outputs, and outcome, around inputs and output and outcomes. Only because this research looks at school performance, only the linkages related to cost, inputs, outputs, and outcomes were included in the model, because only these variables are under the direct control of school management. Please look at the proposed framework. Education progress is decomposed into 3 sub-elements, and the outputs of the previous element are exact inputs of the following element. As such, this framework can be implemented by a network data development analysis model. Because school performance measurement system should reflect the change in school environmental context. Therefore, education environmental factors are also incorporated in the framework. And the most important environmental factor for school system is student family background, which is measured by DESIRE in New Zealand. Please also look at the FIND framework, all the variables in the model were selected based on the criteria of whether they are literature-based or linked to the ministry's priorities or supported by available data. The major advantage of this framework is that it measures school performance from multiple dimensions, using a decomposition of overall efficiency into cost efficiency, academic efficiency, and academic effectiveness. Cost efficiency measures the efficiency of transferring school resources to the number of students funded. Academic efficiency measures the efficiency of getting exam passes from student funded. And academic effectiveness reflects the efficiency of getting university entrance and high-level endorsements for tertiary education from a number of exam passes. And for the overall efficiency, it measures the efficiency of getting university entrance and high-level endorsements for tertiary education from limited resources. The population includes all New Zealand secondary schools that do not provide primary education, and the sample covers 85% of the population. 2 test periods, 2004, 2006, and 2009 to 2011. A network DA model was employed to calculate school productive efficiency and was run under output orientation and variable returns to scale. A categorical DEA model was employed, that's sort of technique, was employed to adjust the effect from student family background. That's an environmental factor. This DEA model. DEA model is a linear programming model, and it produces a frontier for best performance. To demonstrate how DEA works by graphing, we assume that this DEA model has only one input X here and 2 outputs Q1 and Q2. And 4 schools are under the observation, A, B, C, D. A and C are efficient, so they are on the frontier. B and D are not efficient. The efficiency for school B is a ratio of OB to OB apostrophe. For each efficiency in the framework, apply DEA and calculate the efficiency scores. Data were collected from the ministry and the website, official website. Oh my God, official website of the ministry and the New Zealand Qualification Authority. Graphs here show that the desire is positively related to school academic outcome, but negatively related to government grant per student. So desire is employed to measure student family background, and it is categorically between 1 and 10, with Desire 1 schools has the highest percentage of deprivation, while Desire 10 schools has the lowest percentage. Desire effect, we can see that the desire effect is here. So a categorical DEA model was employed to adjust the desire effect. Malmquist is used to calculate the productivity change for school, school productivity change. And it can be decomposed into efficiency change and frontier shift. Regressions are also employed to examine the relationships between efficiency or productivity change and school characteristics, including ownership, gender, school size, and Mori 30%. Mori 30% indicates whether this school has more than 30% of students. 30% is upper quartile of Mori density in New Zealand schools. These are findings here. So large and high desire schools outperform small and low desire schools. With regards to academic achievement, Single-sex schools outperform co-educational schools. Integrated schools outperform non-integrated schools. And New Zealand schools' performance could be improved by enlarging school size. With regards to productivity change, since the introduction of NCEA, there has been a decline in productivity for cost efficiency due to backward frontier shift. There has been an improvement in productivity for academic efficiency due to the frontier shift and increase in relative efficiency. There has been an improvement in productivity for academic effectiveness due to the increase in relative efficiency, and there had been an increase in productivity for overall efficiency due to a forward frontier shift. Desire 1 schools outperform Desire 2 and 3 schools due to the targeted assistance from the Ministry of Education. Regression results also show that integrated schools enjoy an improvement in productivity for academic effectiveness. Co-educational schools enjoy an improvement in productivity for overall efficiency. More than 30% schools suffered a decline in productivity for cost efficiency due to backward frontier shift, but enjoy an improvement in productivity for academic efficiency due to the increase in relative efficiency. Low and medium desire schools enjoy an improvement in productivity for academic efficiency. In conclusion, compared to old qualification systems, the impact of NCEA has similar features in terms of desire effect, gender differences, scale effect, and the decline in resource utilization. But since the introduction of NCEA, there has been an improvement in school productivity. Well, under the old system, there had been no change or decline in productivity for 5 to 7 years just before the introduction of NCEA. Indeed, there had been an improvement in school productivity for overall efficiency since the introduction of NCEA, and NCEA has leveled the playing field for different student groups by narrowing the gap in performance between them. This is consistent with the primary objective of the ministry, stressing equality and excellence in education. Because improvement in the moral student performance and the improvement in productivity for academic effectiveness was due to the increase in relative efficiency rather than forward frontier shift. The increasing trend might change in 3 years, after 3 years. Therefore, the ministry and the authority need to take steps to enhance the moral student support and to further improve academic achievement for tertiary education. The practical implications of this research is that it provided a model, a performance measurement model that can be adjusted to satisfy not only the primary stakeholders, but also other stakeholders in the organization. And it also provided an approach that might assist the ministry to identify the schools with good or poor performance for the purpose of benchmarking or intervention. This is my presentation. Sorry, I've been nervous by the time limit.
You've got to get used to those.
Oh, thank you very much. Any questions for me?
So, any questions for Jane? Is there anything you wanted explained more?
I actually did. Sorry, Jane. Thank you very much.
No problem.
There was something, I can't remember one of your earlier slides, and you showed two models, I think. And I picked up on something. You said something about family, social background.
Yes, family. Okay.
Background. Can you just explain a bit more what it is about that?
Okay, just one moment. Family.
Slide 8?
Oh, yeah, this one, yes?
No,
this,
that one was slide 8.
this one?
No, further up?
Nothing, this one?
Yes. Student family background.
Oh yes, this is a major environmental factor, because in New Zealand we use design to measure student family background. Design is actually is calculated by the Ministry of Education based on the census data every 5 years, and it reflects the extent to which a school enrolls students from the low-level socio-economic communities.
So is it talking about the parents?
Yes, a lot of parents actually income and what's called that? Probably that's five criteria.
Okay.
Yes, related to the calculation of family background. I mean desire. So yeah, and about Maury and a lot of. Yes, so I will try to find some details for you if you are interested later. Yes, so and it's ranked between 1 and 10. I mean the Design 1 schools has the highest percentage of deprivation, and the Design 10 has the lowest. And Design 1 schools majorly located in the South Auckland, and some part has a lot of higher percentage of Maori students, normally at that area. And for Maclean College, Auckland Grammar Schools, they are Design 10 schools.
Sorry, was this for all of New Zealand or Auckland?
I'm talking about New Zealand, but take Auckland as an example.
The 85% was for the 85% was for the secondary schools. 85% of secondary schools.
You mean that the 85? Yeah. No, 85 is actually. So the population is a big one, but I just choose some schools as per if the data is complete, or there have been 3 continuous years data, something like that. Oh, right. So yes, otherwise, because for DA model, we need to have a big sample size, and to try to decrease and try to maximize the distortion due to the sample size. So that's what I did.
Just to add to that, Jane, I think the data was sourced from the Ministry of Education.
Yes, yeah.
ERO office. And a study like this, the major problem is actually getting the right sort of data and information. So, and obviously this was a 90-point dissertation, which required quite extensive sort of study. So it was manageable within that sort of data set.
Yeah.
But really sort of there were difficulties when you're not getting data from the ministry. And I think Jane spent hours actually trying to read through the reports and get that sort of information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you very much. Okay, thanks.
Run out of time now. On behalf of the University Postgraduate Centre, I'd like to thank you very much for taking part, and there's some little things for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you very much.